We're recording.
All right. Well, thank you all for being on. We have a big group. That's exciting. I guess as the team grows, these calls get a lot bigger, which is super fun. I remember when Katie and I first started, like we just talked to ourselves. We're like, I'm sure people will watch the recording, or we hoped, but no, we are just super excited about this team. It's awesome. And January has proven to be a great month. We've picked it up big time, guys, this last week or so. These numbers are incredible. I was just looking at the numbers today in the back office, and some of you guys, I don't know how you do it. You're just, those numbers are crazy. And we have people that have recruited 4 people in January. And it's so exciting because we know based on history that January, the end of January, February, March, April, they're going to be huge months for us in this business. So you guys get excited, get those parties booked, because people are starting to be ready to go. Christmas is hopefully paid off. They're getting close to being paid off, and people are starting to work on their fitness goals and get ready for spring break. So they want to wear those cute leggings. So start getting those parties booked. Get as many as you can on your calendar, because as we know, parties are the lifeline to our business. And so the more we have, the more we expand our network, and the more hopefully people we can get to join us in this business. So, and just a couple of reminders on 200 QPV. When you see that in your back office, that is where you're going to make commissions. 600 is where you're going to get your website paid for. 1,000 is where you're going to get that extra 8% bonus. So you don't want to leave that money on the table. So definitely shoot for that. And then the 2,500 is where you're going to really grow your business, but also this month you're going to get points for that trip. So I know a lot of you are already on the board for the trip, and that's super exciting. So keep working hard towards that. And then also last thing I'm going to talk about is our Pillar Awards. If you haven't ever participated in that yet, we do Pillar Awards for light, uplift, community, and activity. And you can nominate someone on this team that has inspired you or uplifted you, or you just admire. That is one of Katie, our favorite parts of the month is getting to read those Pillar Awards and getting to nominate somebody. So Katie, I think, posted in the newsletter this week the link to go ahead, and it's just like a Google form. You just click on it, super easy to fill out. So those are super fun. So if you have somebody that you would like to nominate, please do that this week. All right, Katie, that's all I have.
Okay, yay. Well, you guys are in for a real treat tonight. I see a lot of you guys all are probably already friends with Erika. She's like one of our team mascots, we always say. We're so lucky she's part of this team. So Erika was our top recruiter in 2020. And I mean, to know Erika is to love her, and you'll see, if you don't know her yet, when she talks tonight, you're going to see why she's able to draw people to her and grow a massive team. But she worked really hard on this presentation. I sort of asked for a couple specific things, and this is not just a phoned in training. She really worked on something so that you guys could take it and take action on this training. So we're really grateful for her and her leadership. And Erika, you can take it away.
Well, thank you so much. What a warm introduction. I feel like I got my hype squad here. That's my jam. You know what I mean? Like, I love shout outs. If you don't like shout outs, that's okay. But you can't not like this call if you don't like shout outs. So anyways, I won't waste your time. But first and foremost, what a wonderful month. Anytime you trend up, or you add new teammates, or you get lots of parties, it's a great day, right? Yes, I do. I do like to work hard, especially for the trainings, because inside of my vision, trainings is an opportunity to get better. So when I post the company trainings, when I post our bigger team trainings, Sarah Anderson's training, anyone that I'm jiving on, I always say, if you get one person to show up, then, then you got bigger and you got stronger. So thanks for showing up. All of you guys who showed up tonight. You showed up for your business. That's first and foremost. Pat yourself on the back. That's a huge win for you guys. So if you guys don't have this guy, you better get it out, because this is what we're all working for, right? It's our short-term goal, and our big-term goal is to turn our business into dollar bills, right? So I do like to grab inspiration as far as my process. I like to be engaged in my process, whether it's the party process, it's the recruitment process, or it's the sales process. So I like to grab inspiration. I'm a sponge. I like to take a little bit of everybody and make it my own. I did the same thing as a soccer coach. I think that it's all about like a little bit about leggings and a lot about life. And that's what my whole soccer career was about. It was about making that person a whole individual, like making us a team and using all of our strengths and even our weaknesses to make us stronger. And so today I do a lot of TED Talks. I'm like Katie. I'm kind of a book person, and I like to read a little bit of personal development and a little bit of hype, and then I like to switch over to like something a little fictional, like get some stories going in my head, you know, and kind of like take it away. But I love TED Talks. I'm super pumped up. I do have something in the chat that you can follow along with. It's just like a short thing. I like to put all of my things and all of my trainings into pieces like this so you can refer to them. These are 100% for you guys to use if you jive on it. It's 100% for you guys to use to go back to your team, word for word, a little bit of quotation here and there, but it's for you guys to be better. And what you can bring to it is you can bring the energy. So when I'm writing training sessions for teams, for my soccer team, there's a warm up, there's a technical session, there's a tactical session, but there's also a huge element, and it's like heart, right? It's heart. It's like what we all believe. And here today, we all have a huge mission. We all have that energy, and it's contagious. And there's one thing I learned very easily in this business from Natalie Runyon, my girl. I hope she's on the call or watches the replay, but she does. She says energy is contagious. And whenever you go somewhere and people ask you that faux question, like, hey, how's it going? You're like, oh, it's going great. It's going absolutely fantastic. A lot of times people are like, oh, it's all right, whatever. Like energy is contagious. So that's why I like to start out warm up with mindset, and like everybody gets hyped and everybody's smiling. Everybody's like, yeah, we're bringing it tonight. So hopefully after this call, I know it's late, but you can run through walls or do some jumping jacks or make some reach outs, make some real connections, because Candy, I see you laughing and you know it's true. You're going to want to run through a wall, and that you have to take back to your teams, okay? Yourself and your team. So anytime I do training, I like to look at it in two spectrums, right? I like to look at it from the rep perspective, you, yourself, and I, right? It's about what you can do to make your business whole. But then I also like to look at it from a leadership perspective, because it's not just you anymore. The day you bring one person onto your team, you are responsible for those people and their success, right? Because in whole, it's theirs. So in the warm up, okay, and in the handout, you'll see that I have resourced Simon Sinek, right? He is a leadership expert. He brings a little simplicity, vision behind, like just behind what we do, right? And behind other businesses, other corporations, successful people and successful organizations. And it says that people don't buy what you do, they buy how you do it, right? 100% what we do is, anyone can join Lindsay's team, anyone can join Katie's team. But at the same time, we have to separate ourselves, right? And I know we live on this island of like, please don't compare, but it's true. We do. We have competition inside of just ourselves. We have competition inside of our organization, inside of our team, especially if we live close, right? So if I put the TED Talk in there, it's kind of like a little bit old. I think it's like 2010, but he has a website. It's fantastic. It's the Golden Circle. Okay. And he brings a little bit of science to this. If you know me, that's my master's, right? Biology. I'm a huge nerd. I like to do dimension analysis and all that crazy stuff for fun. And so what he says is that we have three spectrums, right? We have the how, we have the why, we have the what. And for organizations, sometimes for leaders, right? We put on our name tag, we say, hey, I'm the leader, I'm the manager, I'm the coach, I'm your upline, whatever it is, I'm gonna lead the way, right? And we have a what. So if we're selling leggings, right? Everyone knows, right? If you go to Katie's social media, within 5 minutes or less than, you probably know that she sells Active, right? Okay. But the best leaders and the best people in our organization build everything around a why. And I did a lot of trainings this week for some other people, for Chelsea, for Rachel, about the process. I have a prospecting process and I'm proud of it. Inside of this business, sometimes we get distractions. We get calls like this. We get trainings. You're stimulated by all the different ideas and all the ways to work your business, right? And you're like, oh, well, I'm going to go do this because it works for her, blah, blah, trial and error. Well, what I challenge you guys to do, and there's some actionable items in there, is you got to love and you got to trust what your process is, right? So here we are trying to earn this trip. I took a payout because I'm real smart, and now I'm going to re-earn this trip. And in my mind, I'm like, man, why did I do that? And then I'm like, why did I do that? Because I'm a boss. That's why I did it. I'm going to earn this trip. And then I'm going to be like, okay, I earned it. I earned it. They don't ever say I want it. You earned it. And so if you look at the golden circle, it really talks about why. And I put this into Zaya terms, right? So late Zaya terms. So why do you sell? Okay. So you have to have an emotional connection behind why you do what you do, right? And I'm sure you've heard that in all aspects of your life. Like, why are you a mom? Why, there's always a why. And you have to share that. Like, if you're talking to a prospect, they have to know that you love the brand. They have to know you love your team. They have to know that you love the Bradleys. They have to know that you love a damn light and tight. Like, they have to know that stuff and they have to feel it. Okay. So why do you sell Zaya? For me, it's about building something that's bigger than myself. It's about being part of something that is functionally and hard work, sweat and tears, it's built. And I share that with my prospects. I share that with the potential, because we all see it, right? We all see those girls on social media. They got 8,000 followers and you're like, man, she's such a potential. We see it, but do they feel it? Okay. And that's where Simon brings a part of the biological part to it, right? There's a couple parts of our brain. And I love this. I love to study this because I'm impulsive, right? If I'm on social media and Chelsea Christensen puts something in her story, 9 times out of 10, I'm buying it. I am impulsive, okay? When Lindsay texts me about Zaya Active, I joined 4 days later. I am impulsive, and I know that, and that's part of my brain, okay? So the part of my brain that talks about in this is the limbic brain, right? So it connects to my how and my why. I'm emotionally connected to a lot of things, and I know that. So that is what's responsible for trust. That's what's responsible for feelings, for decision-making, my decision-making in all aspects of my life. But it doesn't communicate other things outside of that. So it's not like the Nortex, where it's like rational and analytical thought, right? And so you're thinking, oh, okay, Erika, I don't even know these people that I'm trying to talk to. Like, how am I going to know how their brain works? That is our job. That is our job. 9 times out of 10 is to build relationships, and that's in there. So that's like more of the like how. Apple, they are a fantastic corporation. I know it's kind of comparing apples to bananas or whatever, but they don't sell computers. They sell an experience. They sell feeling. They sell a lot of things. And they don't really have to come out and say it because they literally have made this epic like standard, right, for their stuff. So leaders like Martin Luther King, he had a dream, right? He didn't have a plan. People came to hear him talk because they had a true connection for what they wanted America to look like. And they came and they listened because they were emotionally connected. So you're probably thinking, okay, well, great. Now that I have to get all of my feelings on my social media, right? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like, I have a process. And number one, I have a list. I have people who I want on my team. I don't just look for anyone. I want leaders. And Sam and Quinn, they say it best. 90% of the people that join our team, they're from parties. They're from like our VIP groups. They have purchased something, a SKU inside of the business, and now they're joining Zaya Active. 10% of those people are probably like Lindsay and I, and they just joined because they wanted something bigger. They wanted to be part of something new, right? Those are the people that I'm after. I'm after the 10%. I'm after the impulsive people. I'm after the people who say, you know what? I'm not thinking about it. I want in. Because the people who are thinking about it are being held back by some sort of belief or some sort of fear or whatever, the fear of failure, whatever, whatnot. And 9 times out of 10, if someone tells me I'm thinking about it, I'll call Lindsay and say, oh my God, I have like 10 people that are thinking about it. I wonder what they're thinking about. So now I go back and I say, what's holding you back? Like, what is really the issue here? Because it will help me be a better coach and a better leader to you if and when you do join the brand. Does that make sense? And so I challenge you guys. There's a couple actionable items in there, and it talks about, having a process, the prospecting process, what I call it. It's really mine, and I trust it, and I believe in it. And there are things that I trial and error or whatever, but I always go back to it, and it's about building relationships. I want to know more about my people. I have a rep that joined me, I don't know, Hannah, probably like 11 days ago or something. And I've never met her in person. And I love her. Like, I love her. Like, there she is waving, right? She's my kind of people. And like, literally, the universe has attracted her to me. I truly believe that. And she is literally like, she's like the dream rep, right? She's like, she starts, she goes, she got $3,000. She probably got some other people coming on the call after this to prospect. And like, she works full time. She's a mom. I mean, I could go on. And I have a freaking badass team full of those people. And they work hard because they're emotionally connected to what we do here. And so I know that's a lot and it's heavy and it's deep, but it's the truth. And for 2 years, I've literally attracted so many great people to my team. And my timeline and my rank or whatever, it's a little different. It's unexpected, but I've really come to love it and love on it. And when it's time, it'll be time, but I trust my process and I do not veer from it often. And it's not like I don't get distracted, right? I get distracted and I'm like, oh my gosh, this person has this rank or she's this and she has this and she has sponsored posts on Facebook. That is awesome. But that's just really not me, like I'll go 0-5 in a season because it's going to set my team up for really great conference play. Well, right now I'm honest and I'm real about what this looks like and what my brand looks like, how hard it is, how hard I work, how hard the people are that work, but the experience is no other. And I can't tell people that, right? They're like, you can tell them that, but they can't feel it, So then I put a reflection. I want you guys to go back and look at your order history, right? Because I did this today. From January 1st to January 25th, okay? I had 25 people who ordered. 2 of those people joined. 2 of them are hosting parties in February. 10 repeat customers have a VIP link. I closed 2 parties. I had 2 people who ghosted me on parties. And I have 1 VIP link and I have 2 parties now. And you're like, holy shit, right? Well, guess what? That's recruitment reflection. All of those people, did I have a conversation with them about the business? Did I have a conversation with them about hosting a party? Did I have a conversation with them, period? Okay. My other challenge to you is go back through your order history and say, okay, what do I know about this person? Okay, I'm going to go through Hannah's because Hannah ordered a lot from me over the last month. Okay. I know Hannah, we have a real connection with, our father. We have a connection with teaching. We have a connection with our kids. We have a connection with being active. She has a connection with a knee injury. She has a connection with, I know a lot about her in a short period of time because I listen and I look. And so it allows me to prospect a little bit better because I know what her needs are. And I know, that everyone you want to go after can be good at this business, but they can't be good without you believing and them believing. So you're like, okay, well, how do I do that? Just build a relationship, because whether it's a year or it's a week or it's a day, and if it's a day, congratulations, they just joined after a day, but it makes you a better leader, it makes you a better person, and it makes the team dynamic better. It also makes hard conversations and frustrating times easier because you have someone to love and lean on. And I lost a senior director, and she has some things going on in her life. And yeah, she was a solid part of my business. And although that might've been frustrating for my business, it was where her heart needed to be. And I have to just go back to what I trust. And when she's ready, she'll come back. And another one came back, so you just have to have good faith, and that you have to build your organization around a why. And the best leaders and the best companies, they work outward, or you know what I mean, instead of working inward. So instead of saying, I sell leggings, here's my kit, here's this, here's what, you have to work outward, and it has to be what, how, why, not, or why, how, what. And so, I think that's why we talk about attraction marketing so much. Like, you don't have to put everything in the caption. You just have to share an experience. But what I also challenge you to do is you got to have real conversations. You have to voice note people. You have to get them on the phone. You have to meet them for coffee. You have to talk to them when you're in a yoga studio, or shoot, talk to them anywhere you can, because it's hard to talk to people in person. So, you know, and I'm motivated by a lot of things right now, but I want you guys to set emotional connection behind why you want to build a team. Okay. Short term, yeah, it's the trip. Short term, yeah, it's a good paycheck. Short term, yeah, it's a good friendship. Long term, it's retirement. Long term, it's my kids' education. Long term, it's I'm kicking it with Lindsay and we're 80 in a coffee shop. You know, it's like those are the long-term feelings, like vacations and Amy and Charmaine not going to the Four Seasons. Like those things are invaluable. You can't recruit, you can't talk to people about that. But what you can do is give them an experience, and that's what we do here. So there, use the handout, do some recruitment reflection, look at the last month of your order history. And if you're like, oh, I talked to all those people, every single person I tried to message in my parties, you're doing the most and you're doing it right. And just like Sam said, and them on the corporate call, like if you have 4 parties, you'll probably get 1 rep on a good day, right? Some of us are out here, like Stephanie, I think she was doing like 4, like Lindsay says, she was doing 4 mega events, right? It's like a month. It's like, wow, that's a lot of people. And if she's capitalizing on every person that walks into her party, then, you know, that no wonder why she's got so many people and she's building teams. But my goal is to attract 50 people. I did in my first year, I was part-time. I recruited 17 people. This year, obviously, like Katie and them said, I recruited 40. 10 of those are no longer with the brand and no longer with my business. And then 15 of those people hold and maintain rank. My senior rep ratio is 27%. My whole goal is when I bring someone on to get them to 1,000 and to add a teammate and to book a party. That's part of my process. I don't bring them on and just leave them alone and let Hannah just figure it out themselves. Hannah is probably here to vouch that we've had more conversations through text in the last 24 hours than our husbands. But your job is not to get them here, win a trip, win a check. Your job is to make them a better person. Your job is to make them a better leader. Your job is to make them a better rep, a better mom, whatever it is. But together you do more. And if you're not taking ownership of the onboarding process, you know, if you have a team of 20 and only one's working, something's wrong in your process. Something's wrong in your prospecting process. And it's bigger than having conversations and scripts. So that's really my spiel. The outline says a lot. I truly believe in it. How do you, okay, so that is scripted, Grace. You know, I do say, hi, Grace, thanks for coming to Katie's party. Do you have any Zion pieces? Like, what are you really loving? Like, what brands do you wear? How can I help you? I just introduced myself the same way, like you would never walk into an at-home party and I wouldn't talk to you. And so that's kind of what I open up with. I would say through reflection over the last couple of parties, probably half of those people don't respond. But if I get 2 to 3 of them that do respond, the conversation is no longer about Zaya. It's like, oh, we have similar friends. Like I try to go on stints of 3 to 5 and I don't talk about the business. I try to get to know more about them, what they like. I invite them to my VIP group very quickly so they have access and touches to me. Sometimes I don't even care if they buy. I really just want to get to know more about them. At $600, like I did with Hannah, at $600, I present the opportunity every single time. Every single time, doesn't matter if you're my mom, my sister, my aunt, I don't care who you are. 65 off the kit is a bigger investment for them to earn back and want to work hard for their investment, rather than 150 they kind of slide in, they don't have anything to work for. So host conversion, I know Charmaine's talked about that. I think that's it, really, if anyone has any other questions.
I think that one thing that we should point out is, Erika, is that like you aren't just in your parties like, thanks for joining. Here's my VIP link. Catch you later. You are intentional about these relationships. So you're messaging them, even if they don't write you back, which a lot of them won't, but you're messaging them and getting to know them outside. That requires more effort and it is more intentional, but you guys, it's such a bigger return. If you can spend that time doing those one-on-one reach outs, like that is the magic of this business. It is not in having a great social media presence. It is not in having sponsored posts, like Erika said. It is in that intention with your conversations and your relationships. Like, I'm sure you guys can get from Erika that she's all about connecting with other people. That connection is why she's the top recruiter. So if you are struggling to recruit, think about how you can connect more with the people in your parties. It doesn't have to be fake. I like the way you say it, Erika. It's just so natural. Like, hey, tell me about your favorite brands, and again, like you said, most people are going to ignore you, but some are not. So
yeah, and I think sometimes it just, as you're sending the message, what those messages come through. If you're in other parties, you get those messages and you're like, man, I'm really not that person, and you don't want to type, I don't care if you don't buy anything or not. It's just, it's just, I don't know. And I think that about the business and about parties and about sending messages is you could send the same thing that I send, and you could get 10 people and I could get 5, and I think that constant behavior, doing the same things and not getting the same results, it drives a lot of people crazy. Yeah. And, I think it's about resilience. Like the biggest fighters in here will not leave their farm. They will not leave their harvest. The biggest people who say, okay, I got 5 people, Katie got 10, now we're 15, let's go. Like those kind of people will be successful. And when you really want something, you'll see the good in it. And I think sometimes what bothers me is, yeah, I recruited 50 people or 57 people in 2 years, but am I double Xi? No. Am I Xi exec? Hell yes. You know what I mean? And I love it.
Don't you think, Erika, too, that like when you are getting ready to send a message, your intention behind the message comes through. So like if you are like, copy paste, they're probably going to feel that. But if you're like, I'm going to talk to this person and get to know them, like that's what you are thinking, I think, when you're sending these, and it comes through. And that's why people are drawn to you and want to be around you more, no matter if that's being your customer forever or joining your team. So I think that intention is really important.
Yeah. And one last thing, I know there's a lot of leaders on here. And I think sometimes like as a top recruiter, Lindsay and I do a really good job of recruitment, but at the same time, it's getting other people to do the same thing. And I say that in soccer all the time. You can teach people skills, but when they can teach someone else is when they truly have mastered that skill. And so sometimes I think we forget about, oh, I'm on Erika's team, I could be a good recruiter. And it's not always like that. Or, we listen to the best people who throw the best parties and have the $15,000 worth of sales. Like I'm the queen of 200 parties, I'll rack them up. And I own that. I don't care if my parties are 3,000 because I know that there's goodness in them. You know what I mean? And so if you're a leader, think about you, yourself, and I, obviously first, your business, your core business, the behaviors, the KPIs that you do. But then your biggest job is, how do I engage my people to consistently do this every day? How do I make them love on their business when they're frustrated? And I have 10 people, maybe 15, who do that out of 330. And I'm okay with that. Brings mama bread, it's just, that's how it is. So.
Does anybody have any questions? You guys can type them.
Oh, everybody. Gina, you're laughing. Candy's always laughing, so that's good. Oh, Brittany, I love you. I love all of you. Look at all of you. So.
All the love. Well, yeah, you keep just reading those love comments. I'll bring you bread. Oh, God. You guys are the best. Oh, we got some Zaya on fire slang happening. Someone told me the other day we were good friends, and I knew I had reached her out, or her heart. Oh,
I know. She's good. If you don't know Hannah, you will soon. She's on the up and up. Heather Warman.
As we were on this call, I just got a message, somebody asking me if I was interested in selling activewear. And I thought, this is a good example of what you don't do. Erika's talking about recruiting. Whatever she did is not what you do. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much, Erika. Thanks for bringing the heat. And
yeah, always.
big last week of the month, huge. It's going to be a huge Wednesday. I love that the first day of February is on a Monday, so it's going to be like a killer weekend. You guys, the numbers are looking so good. Your recruiting numbers are amazing. We're just so proud of you and excited to just see this year unfold. So thanks everybody.
Oh,
Erika. I hope you guys have a good night. We'll post this tomorrow.
thank you.
Bye guys.